Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my December TBR. Now, I realise that we are 2.5 weeks into December when I am filming this, but there is logic. For the first couple of weeks of December, it has been exam season for me, which means I've been spending my entire days studying, swatting up for those exams. So by the time it gets to the end of the day, I had no brain power left whatsoever, and reading just wasn't an option. So there has not been very much reading getting done at all for the first couple of weeks of December. However, I fully intend to make up for that now. I cannot wait to spend the next couple of weeks just reading to my heart's content. I do have quite an ambitious TBR sitting beside me here, but I am so excited to get started on these books. I do have a few romances in here, some middle grades, and of course a couple of thrillers, because it would not be an India video if there was not some thrillers involved. So without further ado, let's get into the books I want to read before the end of the year. So the first book on my TBR is actually one on my Kindle, on Kindle Unlimited, and that is From Lukov with Love by Marianna Zapata. I am actually buddy reading this one with Tabitha and Leah. I'm a little bit late to the party. They have started it already this week, but I've just been so busy with exams that I didn't get any reading done. However, I fully intend to make up for that in the next couple of days and race through this book because I just know I am going to love it. So this one follows the character of Jasmine, who is a figure skater, I believe, who has been a solo figure skater for years and years, has put her heart and soul into it, but when it looks like that dream is going to end, she enters into a deal with Ivan Lukov to do pairs skating. And this is very much an enemies to lovers book, I believe. They hate each other to begin with, but obviously as the story goes on, as they train together, get to know each other, feelings develop. This one actually sounds exactly like Spinning Out, which is a Netflix series that I think I watched about half of. I didn't finish it, but that has nothing to do with the TV series. I am just atrocious for getting distracted and not finishing series. But it sounds exactly like the plot to that. So I'm interested to see how that goes, but I know that Marianna Zapata is the queen of slow burn, and this one sounds like the ultimate slow burn. Like, I can just imagine the tension between them as they're dancing together, skating together, the trust they have to have for like holds and lifts and things like that. I just feel like all the tension is going to be there, and I cannot wait to see how this one pans out. The next book on my TBR is another romance, and that is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. It is already tabbed because I'm borrowing this one from one of my best friends. She read it recently, adored it, and basically forced me to read it, but I've been wanting to read it anyway. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know that one of my favourite thrillers is a Colleen Hoover thriller. It's probably, it might actually be the only one she's done. It's the only one I know of, but that is Verity. Unbelievable. I read it at the start of this year and it instantly became one of my favourite thrillers. It's just such a good book, but I have never read any of her romance, and I know that's what she's more known for, so I'm really interested to see how I feel about this one. I know it is a lot of people's favourite book of all time, and it's actually the book that made Colleen Hoover one of their favourite authors, so I'm really interested to see how I feel about it. So this one I do not know too much about at all, apart from what I've read on the blurb. Basically what it sounds like is we follow the character of Tate, who is a young girl, and Miles, who is a young man, and when they meet they feel like they don't have anything in common at all. There is no sort of like romance in sight between them. However, they do have this mutual undeniable attraction, so it sounds like they enter into sort of like friends with benefits. I don't even know if it's friends, just benefits for a while. And Miles has two rules: never ask about the past, don't expect a future. And then obviously I'm assuming feelings develop and everything gets a little bit complicated. It sounds like Miles has maybe like quite a dark past and therefore doesn't feel like he can enter into love or a future with anyone. But obviously that is going to change when he meets Tate, I believe. That is all I know. That is all I need to know. It sounds like such a good plot, so I am really excited to see how I feel about this one. The next book on my TBR is also a romance. I know, I am not usually, well, for a while now I haven't been a huge romance gal. I've been such a thriller girl, but there's something about winter and Christmas that just gives me all the romance vibes, and that is why there are a few romances on my TBR for this month. The next one I have is 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis. This is actually an arc that I was sent a few months ago now, and I never got around to reading it. It came out in August, but I've heard a few people talking about it recently and saying how good it is, so I thought I had to pick it up now, especially because it is a winter romance. I'm just going to read the blurb because it's a really short one. It says, when Noelle and Sam's lives collide, one snowy snowy evening, they spend 8 perfect hours stuck side by side, believing that they'll never see each other again. But soon their lives become entangled in ways they never expected, and it's going to change everything. That is all I know. That is all I need to know. It just sounds like such a good wintry romance. They meet on a snowy evening, they have 8 perfect hours together, they think they're never going to meet again. But obviously fate has something else in store. I've heard quite a few people reading this recently and saying that it is a really, really good romance. They really enjoyed it, so hopefully I will feel the same. Okay, next I have a couple of middle grades because again, winter, snowy, Christmas just gives me middle grade vibes, and the main reason for that is the 2 books that are first up here, and that is The Christmasaurus and The Christmasaurus and the Winter Witch by Tom Fletcher, which are obviously in the Christmasaurus series. There is a 3rd one now, but I do not own it. I may try to get it in time for reading these, and then maybe try and read like all 3 of them in one day, maybe do like a 24-hour reading vlog for them. That might be quite nice. So if that's something you'd like to see, then do let me know. But these books basically follow a young boy called William Trundle, and he unfortunately is in a wheelchair. He is left paralysed after an accident, I believe, and he is getting bullied at school, I think, and everything just seems a little bit dark and grey this Christmas. And then he meets the Christmasaurus, who is a most unusual dinosaur, and they go on a big adventure to the North Pole. There's friendship here, there is vibes of it's okay to be different, it's okay not to fit in, all the amazing middle grade vibes. And honestly, these are just the most wholesome stories ever. You may be able to tell from the plot that I've just given, I really don't remember them very well at all, but I'm glad because I want to go into them again this Christmas and just feel all the good Christmassy vibes again, not completely knowing what is coming up for me. Honestly, Tom Fletcher is one of my favourite middle grade authors as well. Not that I've read too many middle grades, so I probably shouldn't say that, but I do just love his books. I just love his writing style and all of the amazing like themes that he brings into store, usually about friendship and being different. I just think these books would be so amazing for a young person to read, and they still get me as well. Next up I have another middle grade, and that is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. I have not yet read this one, but I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. Most people I know have now read it because all it seems to get is like 4 or 5-star reviews. This one follows the character of Amari, who's a young girl and her brother goes missing. No one seems to be talking about it, it's all very mysterious, but the only clue she believes there is involves his job at the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. Amari is then invited to join this bureau and go on all these missions with all these different supernatural mythological creatures, and she realises that this is the key to finding her brother. All she has to do is complete 3 tryouts. This just sounds incredible to me. I love anything with like a trials theme. I always eat that stuff up, and it just sounds so magical with all these mythological creatures and then this young strong girl going on a mission to try and find her brother. I can't wait. I think it's going to be such a good book. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things, and I cannot wait to get in on the secret of why this is such a good book. Okay, finally for my December TBR, I do of course have a couple of thrillers. So first of all, I have another Lisa Jewell, and that is I Found You. I do really enjoy Lisa Jewell's thrillers. She's one of my favourite thriller authors. I just love her writing style. It just flows so nicely, and there's always so much intrigue and mystery in her books. She usually does multiple perspectives and does it really well, so that we get different clues from different people as to what is going on, but we're always still in the dark. She's always just planting little seeds throughout, but usually keeps you guessing until the end. So yes, big fan of her novels, and this one sounds like such a good one. I feel like it could be a favourite if it is done right. So this one says, Lily has only been married for 3 weeks. When her new husband fails to come home from work one night, she is left stranded in a new country where she knows no one. Alice finds a man on the beach outside her house. He has no name, no jacket, no idea what he is doing there. Against her better judgment, she invites him into her home. But who is he, and how can she trust a man who has lost his memory? I'm sorry, but that just sounds so good. I have no idea how things are going to develop in this book, but I feel like it's going to be so mysterious. I feel like it's going to be an absolute page turner, as her books usually are, but with this sort of plot where we're trying to, like, we might be working out whether he actually can remember or whether he is starting to get his memories back. I don't know, but I cannot wait to find out. Okay, and the final book on my December TBR is His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I've heard a lot about Alice Feeney recently for her book Rock, Paper, Scissors, I believe. I think it was possibly a Book of the Month book, but it seems to have been everywhere and everyone seems to be saying it is a really, really good thriller. So I realised that I already had this one by her and thought I might as well try it out. Again, I'm just going to read the blurb because I feel like that's easier and it gives you the most intrigue for a thriller. So it says, 3 words to describe my wife. Beautiful, ambitious, unforgiving. I only need 1 word to describe my husband. Liar. When a woman is murdered in Blackdown Village, newsreader Anna Andrews is reluctant to cover the case. Anna's ex-husband, DCI Jack Harper, is suspicious of her involvement until he becomes a suspect in his own murder investigation. Someone is lying and some secrets are worth killing to keep. Again, this one just sounds so good to me. You can tell I'm a thriller lover because whenever I start reading out blurbs for thrillers, I just get so excited. Like, I cannot wait to see what happens with this one. I feel like it's going to be twisty and it's going to keep you guessing. You're going to wonder who you can trust out of these 2 characters. I don't know if you're getting dual perspective. You are. So the chapters are named Him and Her. And you'll get the, oh, it just sounds so good. Like I said, I've heard really good things about her new book, so hopefully this one is just as good. It does say it's deliciously twisted, keeps you guessing all the way through, full of shocks, gripping. Sounds like my kind of book. So that is it for my December TBR. We do have quite a good mix here. Like I said, I've got a few romances, which I don't usually have on my TBR. I've got a few middle grades that'll be nice quick reads. And then of course some thrillers as well. I'm so excited to just spend the next couple of weeks reading to my heart's content with hot chocolates while it's nice and wintry outside. It just makes me so happy. So that is it for my December TBR. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more bookish content from me. Comment down below with any of your thoughts and feelings. I do reply to every single comment. I love you all and I will see you again in my next video.